Metro, one of many areas across the country in need of more affordable housing.
The good news today, Council Bluffs unveiled a new program to add more housing opportunities. 6 News' Joe Harris has more on how officials say it will help developers.
Council Bluffs officials say they have the same problem the rest of the country has, a housing shortage.
We think we have approximately 2% vacancy rate, so we've got significant demand. We need to meet that demand in all income levels, and some of the traditional incentives just don't seem to be getting the job done.
Walsh says the demand for housing is pushing rental costs up. Community Development Director Courtney Harder says high interest rates and construction costs are making it difficult to bring developers in.
We're trying to figure out ways that we can get past that.
Officials tell 6 News the city is working with the Iowa West Foundation on the Housing Development Program. The goal is to add 1,300 new homes over the next 10 years.
This program is designed to help developers in the private sector come into Council Bluffs and perhaps finish out that last piece of financing that may be a gap in their project.
Harder says this program adds to the other incentives that are already there.
We have some local incentives that we offer. The state offers incentives that are available to developers, and then we have some federal dollars that come into Council Bluffs as well. And this is just another piece that we'll be able to hopefully package so that we're able to make projects happen.
And they also expect this program to help Council Bluffs residents see relief on housing costs.
It means more affordable, available housing. Again, with a 2% vacancy rate, supply and demand dictates that the price of rental property has gone up, and in some cases up so much it's priced some people out of the market.
Walsh says a healthy vacancy rate would be around 10%, and that's what the city hopes to get to. On your site in Council Bluffs, Joe Harris, 6 News.
The Iowa West Foundation is donating up to $4 million to fund this program, with the city contributing $2 million from ARPA